synergy and earnings. Quarterly synergy earnings. KPIs. Initiatives. Back to the drawing board. We've met in the war room for the marketing moment, in which we're gonna circle back to Q1, in which we'll circle back to our quarterly synergy earnings. All right, I'll tell you about some synergies. You want some? Yeah, Ada Scout with the ROIs. Look, yeah, you want a return on an eye? How about a return on this investment? How about a return on giving the dog a treat? Because he desperately needs one. Getting treats. Like I said, we're down to the nubbins, although I did secure a new treat bag for him. I just forgot. Here's the problem. I secured a new treat bag. I forgot to bring it out to the studio. Oh, it's the butt. I forgot to bring it out with me. So it exists, I promise, but it'll have to be next time. Let me angle this down, please. Okay. Oh my God. There we go. Hello, everybody. My name is Endeavorance. Hello, everybody. My name is Endeavorance. It is Friday, October 24th. And yeah, I'm right on that. And also a year is in there somewhere. How are we doing today? It's day 24 of the US government shutdown. And because of that, it has fallen to me to run the all hands today. So you know how there's when the president beefs it, there's sort of like a chain of what the fuck is it called? The thing where it's like, you know, there's the order of operations. It's the line of succession. That's what it's called. The line of boys. There's a queue of boys that are supposed to step up when the president beefs it, and then if the new person who stepped up for the president also beefs it, someone else steps up, and it kind of goes on and on and on and on, and it's gone so far that now I'm the one that has to step up, and hopefully I won't beef it. We'll see. Control Freak, thank you for the sub 1 month. Thank you so very, very much. How are we all doing today? Can I get a vibe check? How are we doing? I'm gonna go back and like see what some folks were chatting about in chat, and we'll talk about that. But can we get like a just a check in on a scale of today's scale will be 1, 2, 3. On a scale of 1, 2, 3, how are we doing today? Is raining? That's good for crops. Vibe equals silly hyper. That seems to be kind of like for everyone today. Everyone that I've talked to seems to be like in a place. Maybe we're finally doing it. Maybe there's something in the air and we're all about to have like a revelation. Are we all becoming one? Is this when we form a hive mind? Is that the synergy? Is the synergy a hive mind? Perhaps here just in time for the doggo cam. Absolutely. You want to be at the stream early because that's how you get the dog cam right in your face. That's important. Let's see. I saw a question. Flynn the shareholder deserves more treats. I strongly agree, Clover. Very much so. Yeah, Ada says, I will not be supporting through Twitch subscriptions anymore. Understandable. There's the very like top of mind situation with Twitch right now. where there was, for those who haven't seen, there was a very, very, very popular creator at TwitchCon that just got like outright sexually assaulted at a meet and greet that they were like forced to do that had inadequate security and then also an inadequate response to the inadequate security from Twitch. This is not the first time that Twitch has like absolutely shit the bed with regards to just like a lot of things in general, but like in-person security, treating creators well, all that stuff. So like if you don't feel comfortable donating through Twitch, like that's fine. I'm working on I'm hoping to work on a non-Twitch or YouTube based method of chipping in on the stream. The idea would be like just a generic donation page, and for every dollar that you donate, it rolls a dice. That seems fair. That seems fun, fair, easy, straightforward. And then that way, like if you want to chip in, you want to like do some funsies, rolling dice or whatever, you can just do that, and it goes directly to me, which means I can put it 100% back into making things, as opposed to having YouTube or Twitch take a cut, which is always fun to have to give a cut to fucking Jeff Bezos, who totally needs a cut, absolutely needs a cut. Morning, Dev, here from work. Great to see you. Well, thank you for tuning in. This is work. This is work. This is an all hands. We need every hand. What are we gonna do if we don't have our hands? We can't grab things. Factory says, plug the own cast. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you want to watch on not YouTube or not Twitch, I am hosting this stream also on a self-hosted website at live.endeavorance.tv. You can join in there if you want. It's the exact same stream. There's also a chat. I also see your chats. Also, Flynn's doing this. So there's that. Let's getting cozy. Hot damn. Wait, no, but it sucks now. Wait, no, it's terrible. It was almost perfect, but now it's awful. Gotta fix it. Gotta fix it. Wait. Oh. No, get this out of here. This is not where this needs to be. Get that off. Oh, he's like, get this shit out my face. And perfect. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Well done, buddy. Well done. Perfect. I wish I could be half as cozy as Flynn. As kind of doing the needful. If a human being were capable of being as cozy as this dog is, I think we would solve most wars, because I think most humans would prefer to be cozy a la dog than they would to be shooting each other. So we need to investigate, we need to do some research, we need to figure out how we can get humans to be as cozy as possible. But we'll figure it out when we get there, because, you know, I don't have a research team available. Unless you all, do we have any like cozy researchers in chat at all? Do we have any like scientifically cozy folk? I'm legit plugging Owncast to my tech literate Twitch streamer friends now because of this. Good. It's pretty easy. It's like really easy to set up if you know how to host a simple server. And I actually have a really awesome script now. So I have a system. Streaming requires a lot of resources. So let's pull back. Let's talk about streaming from a like technical perspective and why shit is whack. So streaming is expensive. Streaming is very expensive. Flynn, that's a lot. That's a lot, Flynn. It's a lot. We're just gonna until he's done with that. Streaming's expensive. Trying to stream video over the internet is expensive because bandwidth and processing costs. So if like right now, I am streaming to 3 places. And the way that's working is I'm streaming to one central server that is then sending that stream out to other places. So Twitch, YouTube, and Owncast, Owncast being the website that I'm running. That website needs to be able to receive that stream, which is literally just a torrent of data, not literal torrent. It is a cavalcade of data. And it needs to take that data, rework it to be able to be sent out to viewers at multiple different quality levels. And that means that it has to, for example, re-encode the video at like multiple quality levels in real time as data is coming in, and then also send that out to everyone who's watching. Now, that's rough. That's a lot of data to move and process. And like, if you are a big company, like you're a Twitch or you're a YouTube, you've got entire data centers set up to do this. And like, you are consuming hella natural resources to do this. Having a single server of my own streaming the video that is also, being streamed to YouTube and Twitch. Like YouTube and Twitch, they eat the cost. It doesn't matter. I have to pay for it. If I'm streaming through my own service, I have to pay those hosting costs. But I don't want to pay a lot of money. So what I have done is I wrote a script that will increase and decrease the capacity of the server that's running my stream at will. So I'm using a service that will charge me based on resources, and 99% of the time, the server is using virtually no resources. I'm not streaming. But when I'm streaming, I bump it up to one of the highest tiers available. So there's tons and tons of resources, but pricing for servers costs, it usually charges per hour, or per minute of usage. So I'm only paying explicitly for a beefy server while I'm streaming, which means I pay like 75 cents for a really, really, really big beefy server that just scales up before I stream and then goes back down after I stream. And when it's back down, it costs like a fraction of a cent. So long story short, it's really easy to set up Owncast if you know what you're doing. The hard part is figuring out a good way to make it monetarily make sense. So anyway, I can hydrate. Thank you, Epic Failure. We are just entirely what's it called? What was I gonna say? We're entirely in the nerd space already. That's what I was gonna say. I had the thought in my head and then I took a sip and that was just too much time. Too much time elapsed. Couldn't remember what I was gonna say anymore. But we figured it out. Anyway, I pay for good internet here. I also pay for good internet here. Unfortunately, internet fucking sucks. The problem is I pay for good internet and then it brings the bad content to my phone. Why does this keep happening? Like, I'm paying for, I called up Verizon and I said, hey, Verizon, can I get good internet? And they said, sure, here you go. And then that same internet installed TikTok on my phone. I feel like I'm owed. That wasn't a good deal, ultimately. Because now I have to stream, and that's bullshit. I like how you explain technical stuff. It works well for my ADHD brain. Props to you, good sir. Well, thank you. That's something I really want to do is help people understand the technology that they're using in human terms. I think one of the most beneficial things for me in my time working in tech at large, like one of the overarching themes in like all of my performance reviews was like, you're really great at communication, and like when you are super all about something, like everybody gets excited about it. And I'm like, cool, this is great. And then the flip side was, and when you don't care about something, you drag the entire team down. And I'm like, oh. But what I learned essentially was like, I have a fairly rare skill in tech, which is that I am able to take a complicated technical concept and communicate it to non-technical people in a way that they can understand. That is a very valuable trait. If you want to get into tech, if you're in tech currently and you want to get more like responsible, you want a career growth. I've been out of offices long enough that I don't remember fucking anything. If you want more career growth, learn how to communicate. Wild concept. Learn to communicate. Yeah, most people in tech just cannot communicate cross-function shit. Like, most developers cannot talk to people about things. Period. Like, it's shockingly rare, is what I have learned. But I'm hoping to make more content that's just like videos breaking down stuff. If you haven't seen, for example, I've got 2 videos on my YouTube channel about Obsidian, the note-taking software. I fucking love Obsidian, and I've done a couple of tutorials for it. I still want to do another one on that, but I want to do stuff about how, really just everything. Like, how does the internet function, and how can you make better use of that? And especially, how can you be better equipped to navigate an internet in which a bunch of mega corporations are trying everything they can to make the internet just be their properties, which is not what the internet is supposed to be. So, hoping to work towards that. Also, here's the dog cam back, because the dog is back. Explain DNS. That's one of the relatively easier ones, actually. It's just DNS is a system that helps your computer find websites. DNS is basically just a thing that says like, hey, it's a phone book for websites. A DNS is a DNS system is domain name system. It is essentially just servers that know that google.com is over here on the internet. And so when you say, I want to go to google.com, it asks DNS, and DNS says, oh, yeah, that's over here. So you know google.com. Your computer doesn't know what that means. It has to ask someone, hey, what the fuck is google.com? And the DNS system comes back and says, oh, google.com is insert IP address here, and now your computer can go there. That's all it is. 10 out of 10 Snuggly Boy? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And what's fucked up about this, when you look at this, he doesn't want me to come and squeeze him. He has no interest in me squeezing him. Like, if you know about dogs and you know about like what they like, what they don't like, they don't actually want you to be like up in their face, giving them kisses and squeezing them and restraining them. But look at him. Look at him. He's so squeezable. He's so curled up. He's a curled up pup. He's got, wait, is he snoot to tail? Hold on. Oh, he's snoot to tail. Oh, he's snoot to tail all the way. His body language says no touchy. That's the problem. That's the problem. That button. Anyway, the ear twitch when he gets out of the chair. Puppers know and do not care. Yeah, I love this dog. The problem is that I love this dog too much, and he's completely attached to me. Like, you know how when a dog gets bonded to someone and like never leaves them alone? That's him with me, and it's wonderful until it's really, really not. Until it's like, hey, like last night, it's like I have an hour of spare time for like the first time ever, and I just want to like enjoy a video game. And to be clear, spare time for me, like playing with dog, is built into the schedule. It's not like I've got spare time to finally play with dog. So after I had been playing with dog, he got two full walks, a bunch of playtime, got his food, and I'm like, okay, I want to take a little bit of time for me, play a little bit of Hades 2. That's apparently not allowed. It's just straight up not allowed. I started playing, and he was like, no, I don't think so, actually. And he just comes up and takes his snoot and tries to knock the controller out of my hands with his snoot, because it's not allowed. That's against the law. So that's my bad. I didn't mean to break the law. He's your shadow. He's a fucking ninja about it too. He can like he'll stand right behind me and I won't notice. Like he can get up directly behind me without making a sound, and I'll just like turn around and trip over him. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Good morning, Let Ace. What's up? Welcome in. Can't come over. I have an appointment with my dog. So unironically, I don't work at a job anymore, so I can say this. I once lied to my boss about having a doctor's appointment and having to come into work late because I had a scheduled meeting with a neighbor in Animal Crossing New Leaf, in which they added a feature where your neighbors can be like, hey, why don't you come over to my house and we can hang out at this real world time? And it was like, 10 a.m. or something. And I was like, I really want to hang out with this guy. And so I came into work late specifically to go hang out with an Animal Crossing character. And you know what? I would do it again 1,000 fucking times. Why ID as an anarchist when you're so blatantly a canine-archy loyal? I like that. That's very good. Canine-archy. Amazing. Proper work-life balance. Yeah, that's what it's important to keep those who you love in your life. And those who I love are my Animal Crossing villagers. If you want to seriously learn about DNS, run your own locally with Technidium DNS or Unbound. It comes with the benefits of having effectively zero latency and not giving a third party more of your data. Yeah, locally managed, like self-managed DNS stuff is really, really powerful, especially for like content filtering. A lot of people have heard of like a Pi hole, which is a piece of software that you can throw on a Raspberry Pi, which is, if you don't know what a Raspberry Pi is, it's just like a very, very tiny computer that's like really affordable, and it's just for like projects basically. So you can throw a piece of software called Pi hole on a Raspberry Pi, and you put that on your network, and you can have that be a network level ad block system. So I have a similar thing. It's not Pi-hole, but I have a similar thing on my network that makes it so that, like, whereas I have an ad blocker on my browser, like when I go to a website, it'll block ads. The network level ad block will block even attempting to find ads. So, like, again, we talked about DNS. DNS is the system that your computers use to figure out where stuff is on the internet. And so if you're watching, let's say you have a smart TV. This is one of the reasons I did it. I have a smart TV. I fucking hate it, right? I wanted the display. I didn't want anything else that came with it, but that's what we have now. This fucking smart TV wanted to show me ads, and I said, abso-fucking-lutely not. I paid for this. Why are you trying to show me ads on the device that I fucking own? You're a TV. You're supposed to turn on and turn off and display the stuff that I want you to display. Anyway, with DNS level ad blocking, when the TV says, I need to go get the ad, right? The ad is not baked into the TV. The ad is on the company's servers. So it goes to try to find the ad, and your DNS filter says, no, fuck you. It says that doesn't exist. It says, I don't know who you're asking for, but they don't exist. And so the TV is like, oh, okay, well, I guess the ad doesn't exist, so I'll not show it. And so that works on every device. Any device that you can't natively have like an ad blocker extension built into, you can instead just basically make it so that device doesn't know that ads exist. And so it can't load them. And so it gives the fuck up, which is better for your device's speed anyway, because it means that you get to things faster because it doesn't waste time loading all the ads. Now, I will say, sometimes it also just breaks because these systems aren't built assuming that it might break, right? They're built to serve an ad. They're not built to show you something, which is really fucking sad. So in rare cases, it'll be like, oh, I can't find the ad. Guess I'll just hang forever. But hopefully not. Hello, Dev. It's raining and it's making me sleepy. Is it just raining for everyone? It's not raining for me, but everyone's telling me that it's raining. I feel like I'm being gaslit into believing that it's raining when, I mean, it's not. Stop your TV from spying on you. Let me see if I can find this real quick. I remember seeing a thing a while back. I don't want to spoil it if I can find it real quick. Yes. Oh, good. And it's Snopes, and it's been confirmed. So it's not even a thing that I misremembered. Here, check this out. Targeted advertising is a crime against consumers and a culprit of bandwidth and data consumption without consumers' permissions and on consumers' dimes. Dev, the anti-ad master. Thank you. Does a Sony patent propose viewers skip commercials by yelling brand names at TV? System for converting television commercials into interactive networked video games doesn't quite capture the strangeness of the innovation. So this is old. This is a while ago. This article is published more recently than this ad or this thing came out, but this is a real thing. Sony applied for this patent. Say McDonald's to end commercial. Dude stands up. McDonald's. McDonald's. Like, it's fucking hysterical. If it wasn't also awful. It's so awful. Why? Like, obviously this hasn't really come to pass, but hold on. My God, look at this. You're watching TV, right? Here, let's get the whiteboard up. We need the whiteboard. Hold on. I need to remember to pull up the whiteboard when I want to accurately show what's going on here, right? Create whiteboard. Here we go. Okay. So here we go. Here you are. This is you right here, right? Let's just go ahead and label that. You. Arrow. Nope. Arrow. Perfect. That's a wonderful color to choose. Thank you. Thank you, application. Okay, so this is you. You are watching somebody get shot with a gun on a television. Okay? That's what you're up to on this on God's green earth right now. It's you. But then here comes Fat Cat McCorporate. Let's see. Fat Cat? What if I search Fat Cat? No, that's giving me a literal fat. That's giving me literal fat cats. So, but that one, oh my God. That was a much larger titan of industry than I was expecting it to be. Let's just go ahead and do that. Okay, and then now I'm gonna need a probably like a top hat, right? And like a bag of money. Okay. Make that a little smaller. I feel like the top hat needs to go like between the ears, you know, like that. Okay, and then bag of money. Okay, I must be super zoomed in because all these things are fucking huge. Okay, so you've got the fat cat. Okay, cat, fat. All right, and it has nothing to do with weight, BMI, anything like that. Has everything to do with being the man. Okay, we've got, this is the man. So here comes the man. Going up. And the man is saying, you gotta shout McDonald's. You gotta shout McDonald's if you want to get out of this prison that I have created for you. So they're basically Jigsaw. Mask. Sure. So Jigsaw is essentially just like, I want to play a game. You need to say McDonald's to end the commercial, and he's saying that to none other than you. It's being said to you. My goodness. Put it on the cat. There you go. Okay, the cat is like, I want to play a game. You have to say McDonald's. And then Krayley subscribes at 19 months. That's important, right? So let's be sure to calendar. Oh my goodness. Okay, so like over here we have to remember that Krayley 19 months. So, you know, that's important to keep in mind as well. So you have now been challenged by Fat Cat Jigsaw to yell McDonald's, and you do so. And what's your prize? You finally get to go back and watch a guy get shot with a gun. Still, he's still being shot with the same gun. You stood up and you yelled McDonald's to end the commercial, and nothing has changed. You didn't get anything for it. Except for presumably a little bit of a workout. Standing up, sitting down over and over again. So that's, this is just so you remember, this is business. Going up. Does that make sense? Does this help? You skipped the commercial, but you didn't skip the commercial. The commercial was getting you to stand up and vocally state McDonald's. So hopefully that helped. I really do hope that helped. But yeah, once upon a time, McDonald's or Sony was like, hey, stand up and yell things to skip ads. Yes, it helped lying. Why are you lying? I'm so confused what's happening. I was just showing how business works. I was explaining business. I feel like that was pretty obvious. It was because I was riffing off of a thing where Sony owns a patent that is essentially a patent for smart TVs to run ads that require you to physically say something to get the ad to end. And so I was just kind of riffing off of that. Y'all, it is not great right now out there, I will say. It's a little fucked up. It's a little bit fucked up on the a little bit fucked up on the outside out there. Let's see what's going on. This one's fun. This is fun. Trump says he's ending trade talks with Canada over TV ads. President Donald Trump is announcing that he's ending, quote, all trade negotiations with Canada because of a television ad opposing U.S. tariffs. He said, misstated the facts and called egregious behavior aimed at influencing U.S. court decisions. So, essentially, Canada's prime minister was like, hey, we're going to prioritize other trades because the US is like a fucking terrible trade partner right now. And then Trump was like, and now we're here. The dude went on Truth Social, which is a place where you can only post the truth. And he wrote, God damn it. It's like, I'm so tired of seeing my president quoted and it's just all caps. Tariffs are very important to the national security and economy of the USA. Based on their egregious behavior, all trade negotiations with Canada are hereby terminated. Whenever he says hereby, you know he's just fucking bullshitting. Like, you know that he has no idea. Like, he doesn't know how to do this. Like, he doesn't know how to end trade negotiations. He's just mad and believes that he can just say things and they'll happen because he can. Because he can say things and they just happen. And so he just says things and then they happen. So he says all negotiations are hereby terminated. That hereby to me just tells me he truly just thinks that he can do whatever the fuck you want. Caps need to be able to read like a town crier. We all know this. It's true. It's true. It's true. Doesn't even have enough personnel to work on the trade negotiations. Like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't know how. It's not about trade negotiations. It's about like kicking and flailing and tariffing until other world leaders are like, it's easier to wait until this guy dies than it is to threaten our economy by engaging with him in good faith. Because he's not engaging in good faith. He's straight up not. And so all these world leaders are just trying to wait out the clock. Why would they engage with the US right now? The man is deeply unliked, dying, and like doesn't know what he's doing to begin with. And even his own advisors are like, yeah, this kind of sucks, but so be it. Unfortunately, I am subject to the whims of capitalism at present. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Hear ye, hear ye. I am a massive imbecile. Put that on my fucking gravestone, please. They need to declare themselves morally bankrupt. I don't understand anymore how. Okay. I posted this yesterday on the very blue sky. They took a sky, they painted it blue, and then I posted to it. I'm not used to seeing the political leaders in my country espouse overt racism. Now, I'm used to seeing racism. I'm used to seeing veiled racism. I'm used to seeing like lightweight overt racism, you know, like the say complaining about affirmative action to me is like lightweight racism, right? Like bitching and moaning about affirmative action and how it's like not fair and claiming that everything, you know, it's like, whoa, the right person should be the one that gets the job, and implying that the right person isn't blah 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 blah. What was I getting at? Racism. The outright racism. The straight up racism. The like overt racism. So Cuomo recently was like, yeah, Mom Domney would cheer on 9/11. Like, what in the fuck? Or just all of the people, all of the conservatives at this point, basically every elected conservative just saying the quiet parts out loud and being completely okay with it. And especially the president's advisors and shit. What I'm not used to is, like, even as a white person who has been surrounded by veiled racism my entire life and can clock it in an instant, it's not even that anymore. And that's what's wild to me, is just knowing that this is the new norm. Like, it's international. Fucking, there's some guy in Israel told officials from, I think, Saudi Arabia I believe he said go back to riding camels or some shit like that. Like, that is an elected official. Again, it's Israel, so kind of to be expected. They're really shitty to everybody around them. But like, that is just getting normalized, is like just being an ass to other people. And like not even feeling remote shame about your antisocial tendencies, of which racism is a tendency. So like, it makes me very sad to know that there's an entire generation of voters now who have essentially only ever, for their whole just conscientious about politics life, have only ever seen their political leaders espouse overt racism. And if not their political leaders, then they're like social leaders. You know, your Charlie Kirks of the world, or you know, the manosphere guys and shit, where they're like, yeah, being racist is a virtue because you're being honest and clear, and people are like, anyone who's not racist is just hiding it and virtue signaling, and so you're the normal one for being racist, and you're brave for being that way. That's just like the sentiment that has been established at this point, and that I'm not used to that. I don't want to get used to that. Are you on Mastodon? I am on Mastodon. That is going to be, I think, socials. This should maybe work. I don't know if that worked. Did that work? Socials. Didn't work. Whatever. Social? Apparently my replies are not working currently. That's fine. I am on Mastodon. I actually run a Mastodon server. So if you are in my community, the server is astral.camp. Anybody who's a member of my Discord community is able to join that server and do Mastodon things. And I'm planning on making a big video about all of the things that I have for my community and stuff. I'm just kind of getting it into a place where I'm ready to actually focus a laser on it and be like, hey, everybody, go use this stuff. I just want to make sure that it's ready. I work in a US wing of a British company. The goddamn culture and language divide is wild. It's truly bazonkers when you learn how different the world is to workers outside of the US. If you are a worker in the US and you don't know how much different the average worker's life is in like Europe, it's so whack. Like they get confused at the notion that you would not take PTO for any reason. Like, workers in Europe are essentially forced to take vacation. And when they have American coworkers, they consistently are like, why are the Americans weird about taking time off? Like, why are they not using their paid time off? The whole point is that it's paid time off. But in America, taking time off is a privilege, even if you have it as a perk. A lot of people don't take time off because they don't feel that they can, either because of social pressure from those within their office, or because they feel like, if I take time off, my work will be significantly harder. And that is because companies in the States don't properly staff themselves. They are chronically understaffed because they want to pay as little as possible, and somehow also chronically staffed with people who don't do anything. But they understaff so that if you do take time off, there's not going to be somebody else to pick up that slack and keep things moving. And so then that creates a situation where it's like, well, I feel like I can't take time off because if I take time off, everything falls apart. And so like it's a mess. Even if you get PTO, which is not guaranteed in the States, paid time off is not a guarantee for workers in the United States. It is a guarantee in other countries. There's no maternity or paternity leave mandated. There's like barely sick leave mandated. Sick in a lot of places, sick leave and paid time off are the same pool. So if you are out of time off and you're sick, you're fucked, and you just have to go to work sick, which is insane. Like, in no world is it better for your employees to come in sick They're going to get your other employees sick, and then you're going to be worse off. Getting PTO approved is a nightmare. The notion of getting PTO approved, it's crazy. It's like asking your teacher if you can go to the bathroom. Japanese culture make it culturally rude to quiet quit or not put the company above themselves. Japanese work culture is probably the only work culture that like holds a candle to the US in terms of just grinding yourself to a pulp. It's so shitty. We've spent so long convincing people that like glory is found by grinding your soul to a pulp at a job. And the only god is money. And that's the United States of America at this point. And I don't know why anyone thinks that there's well, I know why. Let me back up. You've got people like RFK, right? Who are like, oh, where's the autism coming from? And why is everybody so sick? And why is everybody on antidepressants? No official is interested in solving those problems because they know the answer already. The answer is nobody can afford to live. The answer is in all of the other data that we have. People have no money. People aren't having kids because they have no money. People aren't eating healthily because they have no money or access to food. Like people have to eternally just drive to work, come home in isolation, and then barely afford rent and be hungry and not be able to have medicine. And it's like, why is everybody so sad? Like, motherfucker, you know the answer to that, and it's painful every time that you lie about trying to find an answer because you're just wasting our money. I was thinking about this last night, actually. RFK. This is going to sound wild. I actually respect RFK more than most other people in the Trump administration, which is to say not at all still, even remotely. But if everybody in the Trump administration right now, like of all the high profile cabinet members, I think that RFK is the only one who's actually that dumb and is genuinely just fucking crazy. Like, I think he genuinely believes what he's saying and is an idiot because of that. Like, I don't respect him for it. I don't think he's doing good. I don't think he should be commended for it. But he's the only one that is among those people that I can think of that isn't overtly lying and knowing it. Like, knowing that they're overtly lying. I think that he's just spewing whatever busted misinformation is in his head, but I think he genuinely believes that busted misinformation. And like, that's not better. That's not good. But I think that it's coming from a place of he truly thinks that you can make a connection between circumcisions and autism because the kids who were circumcised took Tylenol after having their foreskin deforeskinned. And like, I think he's just dumb. I think he's just reactionary and doesn't know what he's saying and has spent so long accepting correlation as causation that now we're here. And meanwhile, you've got Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Marco Rubio, who, like, you can see it on their face that they know they're lying. They're not good at this. They're only good at this in the eyes of people who wants to overlook all the things that they're doing. So like, Pam Bondi is lying about the Epstein files and covering them up. Kash Patel doing the exact same thing. Pam Bondi tried to not remotely tried to not just arbitrarily go after random enemies of Trump until Trump publicly harassed her to do so, and then did that and was like, no, I did it because I wanted to. God damn it. RFK is a sociopath, dude. I would accept that. But my read of him is that he's the policy equivalent of a bull in a china shop, right? Like I see him as, like, I don't think that he's doing it out of malice. I think he's doing it because he thinks he can save the world and truly believe, like he's a sociopath insofar as he believes he is right on all of this, despite so much evidence to the contrary. That's the issue, is like, you know, he is so steeped in all of this that there's no externality helping him temper this down. I think when he's saying things like Tylenol is linked to autism or whatever, I think he believes it. I don't think that he's saying that for the purpose of scoring political points or maintaining his position. I think he's there doing what he wanted to be doing. And I think he's the only one that I can say that about. Like, he said, I want to get into the White House so I can fuck up vaccine programs and like do all this crazy shit. And now he's just doing that. Like, he's actually the only one who's doing that. That's bad. It's not a good thing. He shouldn't be doing that. He shouldn't be in that position. It's insane that we ever got here to begin with. But everybody else in the cabinet is just trying to stay in the cabinet and trying to avoid Trump's ire. I think the only one not playing that as their primary daily task is him. Now, that is also to say he needs to be out of that position months ago. It's really not okay that we've got that guy in that position. He's ruined some lives already. Yeah, it's real bad. Like, he is a mess, and we shouldn't have a fucking government system capable of uplifting people into these positions in the first place. It's like when people bitch about the Senate, right? Like, people will complain about the Senate and how it
Thanks for the
wildly bits. Oh, we got a big cheer. $5. Thank you so very much. And it seems that my dice thing is still busted with calculating how super chats are. So it's now plus 404,999,000 to every roll. So enjoy that. But thank you very much, H. Grimm. Thank you. What was I saying? RFK being terrible. We shouldn't be able to uplift people to begin with, and the Senate. Okay, the Senate
Going up.
obviously is busted, right? Like, the Senate is so vastly misrepresentative of the will of the people, right? Like, if we, let me pull up Senate representation by state. Let's see, Senate weighted representation. Trying to find like a graphic here of some kind. Nope. Nope, that's not a graphic. Okay, well, oh well. The Senate. Do I need to get the whiteboard out? I'll get the whiteboard out. I'll get the whiteboard. Hold on. That'll be, I'll just do it through that. Not business. We need a new whiteboard. New whiteboard.
Going up.
Okay. Croissant spotted in the corner camera.
Going up.
The U.S. Senate. Regarding the U.S. Senate, okay, there are 100 U.S. senators and, what is it, 538 Congress folks, right? So the senators are 2 per state, right? And the Congress folks are varies per state based on population, census data. Okay. So we've got two houses, right? The US Senate is the upper house. Upper. And lower. So the US Senate is the upper house of the US Congress, and it has 100 senators, 438, 435. 435, thank you. 435. Oh, I'm thinking 538 from the fucking thing. So there's the upper and lower house. There's 2 senators per state. There's a variable number of Congress people per state. The idea is that the upper house is supposed to be the more resistant to change slash high-minded house. It's supposed to be the place where, like, yes, the older people are in charge, people with more experience. They are the top representatives of that state, and it's supposed to give each state in the union equal representation. It was a part of the Constitution that, you know, we were going to have a coalition of states, but there were a bunch of states that were like, we don't want the states that have a bunch more people having more power over us. And so a consolation prize was, well, fine, every state gets 2 senators in a co-equal branch of Congress. The problem is that means if you've got, let's do some quick goal population of California, 38.97 mil. California has 38, let's just say 39 million people. And let's say population of Idaho, maybe 1.965. We'll just round it up. You know, we'll round it up to 2. Idaho, 2. Oh, Idaho, 2 million people. All right. So 1 senator from Idaho represents 1 million people. 1 senator from California represents 20 million people. That's a very, very big difference. Now, when you look at, let's see, map of states 2024 election. All right, we're just gonna. Yeah. All right, so here's a map. This is a country, right? So here's a country. This country is fucked up. And this country, if we look at these states, and this is not accurate. This is more of a thought experiment, just to like trying to make a point here. When you look at this map, what you're seeing is a ton of red states, almost all of which have very small numbers. So if we look at these numbers, the numbers on these maps are how many points in the presidential election that someone gets if they win a given state. So in the US, we have a fucked up election system where it's for the president specifically. If you get 50.00001% of votes in a given state, you've won the entirety of that state, almost in most states, and you get the points for that state, essentially. And whoever gets a majority of points wins the presidency. So the points are also variable based on population, but they're not equitably variable. So you can kind of use the numbers on these states as essentially relative scales. It's power scaling for states, right? If each of these states were an anime character, let's get some anime hair. Perfect. Very good. Okay. All right. Cool. So if we think of these states as various anime protagonists, these numbers are effectively power scaling. And the idea is of the Senate is like, okay, we don't want the more powerful anime heroes to just completely raffle stomp everyone else and get away with it. So they're like, cool, we're going to have the Senate. The problem is when you look at these states, you're going to see 4, 6, 6, 3, 3, 3, 6, 6, 7, 6, 6, 8, compared to 54, 13, 28. And it's not, obviously there are big Republican ones too, 40, 30. Unfortunately, Texas is actually, there are more registered Democrats in Texas. Texas is not actually red. It's just red because people in Texas don't vote. There are more registered Democrats in Texas than there are registered Republicans. So like, ultimately, what I'm trying to get at here is people will complain about the Senate. They'll say the Senate is so fucked. The Senate gives way more representation to far fewer people, and it's holding this country back. It's holding this country back so goddamn much because what people want in Idaho shouldn't have, like, what a million people in Idaho want should not be able to thwart what 20 million people in California want. And at the federal level, what's happening is the states that have the outsized representation are essentially blocking meaningful progress towards any change whatsoever. And so they're just basically holding the country hostage. And so my entire life, I've grown up hearing that the purpose of the Senate was to prevent tyranny of the majority. But I have never once in my life experienced a government in which the majority opinion is what gets enacted into law. That is not the government that I have ever had. Even when we had a full sweep of blue everything, like when under Obama and shit, we still didn't get the policy that was wanted by the people because there's an outsized number of representatives for a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of the population. And so it's very understandable criticism to say the Senate is so broken. Like, the Senate is busted. The problem is people then push back and say, well, we have the Senate for states' rights. That's why we have the House. The House is the one that's representative of the population. The Senate is supposed to be representative of the state. Hey, land doesn't vote. That was a thing that was enacted because states that had slaves wanted to be able to continue having power. They wanted to be able to not have the states that were moving forward with social changes, like not having slaves. They didn't want those people to have an outsized amount of power. The tyranny of the majority that they were afraid of was having to give up racism and slavery. And so now we're in this place where it is so overly abused and so tilted away from any reasonable system. But criticizing the Senate results in people saying like, oh, well, you just don't understand civics. Like, no, motherfucker. It's because we understand. That's the problem. The problem is the Senate, yes, is the thing that's supposed to give better representation to the states. The problem is, in practice, doing that has led us here. We are now in a place where our disaster relief is going away. We're just kind of like bombing random people in the ocean, and one of the two ruling parties just says, oh, it's not a big deal. There's a fucking Nazi in the White House actively talking about trying to jettison everyone who's not a white Christian out of the country. And people are telling us that that's not a big deal and we're overreacting. I think maybe that given the state of the country, it's in the Constitution, therefore the Senate must not be changed, is not a very good argument for why the Senate shouldn't be changed. Why is it that we're supposed to hate the game, or don't hate the player, hate the game, except for when the game's rules are written in the Constitution, in which case the game cannot be questioned, despite all the bullshit the player is doing. So I guess what I'm getting at here is fuck Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is personally responsible for basically making everything worse in this country throughout the course of my life. I am going to hydrate. Thank you, Canover. So there's that. Turtle Boy. States' rights to do what? Yeah, the whole thing with like, oh, it was a war over states' rights. Like, come the fuck on. I'm so tired of just the disingenuousness of it all. I'm so tired of people being disingenuous. I think that's what bugs me so fucking much about the modern political landscape. I would be so much happier if they just said, oh yeah, by the way, no, we do want a white Christian
Going
nation.
up.
Just fucking say it. Own up to it. Have some guts. If that's what you want, stand on fucking business. I'm so tired of these like feckless politicians just dog whistling all day long because their base will never question them. They will always get the benefit of the doubt eternally. And so they just dog whistle constantly. And anyone who can hear those dog whistles is like, look, I could have said, oh, that was a mistake. That was a flub. That was a word they maybe shouldn't have said. But instead, they just continuously say all the things that they're not supposed to say over and over and over. And the only conclusion any of us can come to is you're a white nationalist. I don't understand what else we're supposed to take away from that. And like, if that's a problem, you should probably be doing things to not have people think that you're a white nationalist. And if you're not upset about people thinking that about you, then you're probably a white nationalist. And so I'm just like so tired of like on the general progressive side, on the like relative left-leaning side. And I'm not talking about Democrats because Democrats also just say dumb bullshit and don't fucking speak clearly. It's the we're so beyond it. Like we're so past it. We're so past all of the platitudes, all of the plausible deniability. Just say what you want. Say what you want to do. And that works in both ways. Look at Mamdani. Mamdani's just like saying shit. He's just saying like, I'm gonna make buses free. I'm gonna freeze rent. I'm gonna make things more affordable. That's just vibes. Like he has policy, but he doesn't actually have policy. He hasn't proposed like laws that will make sense, that are like within the bounds of what he can do, that he can action upon. They are intentions. They're directions. They're concepts. And he is like not backing away. They're trying to gotcha him. They're trying to be like, oh, he's a socialist. And he's like, yeah, I've never said I wasn't. Like, he's not backing away from that. And that's what people want. We're so tired. We're so tired of politicians thinking that we can't see through them. They think that we can't see through them because they've been relying on the people who can't for so goddamn long. But unfortunately for them, there's an entire generation now who have grown up watching essentially every human being say everything that they have to say, always, ever. And so there's not really new sentiments that haven't been heard from mainstream politicians. And so they're just regurgitating shit. And it's like, this is so clearly regurgitated. Or like you press them on something like Israel and they're like, oh, well, you know, I'm gonna like, you know, really dance around this and hem and haw and not try to say anything. And it's like, we know what you're doing. Just be a human being. We just want a life. The only thing anyone's asking for is like some sense of respect and direction. Because all we're getting right now is don't believe your lying eyes. Like, they're standing in front of the fucking east wing of the White House, which has been demolished, and they're saying the east wing of the White House hasn't been demolished. That's not literally what's happening, but they might as well be doing that. Also, to be clear, I don't give a shit about the White House being demolished. I'm seeing so much about that. I'm seeing so many people being like, oh my stars, the White House is being demolished. I don't fucking care. When specific policies and laws will get blocked or changed by bureaucracy anyway, I think I care about someone's intention and vision more, TBH. Yeah. I mean, we're looking to try to find people who just are obviously in it for the good of others. Biden wasn't in it for the good of others. Biden was in it because he felt that he had a divine calling to fix things. and then said, I'm going to be a one-term president, and then turned around and ran for another term and doomed us. Biden wasn't in it to help people. He was in it because he wanted to have a legacy. Hillary wasn't in it to help people. She was in it because she felt it was her turn. Like, we just want a leader who's not a robot and isn't like, oh, I've been asked a question. Let me consult the peer-reviewed, focus group studied, approved response for you. More money to Israel. Like, that's all they do. And we just want somebody like to come up and just be like, hey, I think that things should be more affordable. Imagine if there was a candidate that was running against Trump that was just like not insane and didn't try to be a centrist and didn't parade around with Liz Cheney. Wasn't so out of touch that they thought that Liz Cheney was a powerful political figure to get people on board with your coalition. Imagine if there was a person that was just like, hey, things are getting too expensive too quickly, and that shouldn't be happening. New playlist. Let's see. Let's do synthwave. It's been a little bit since we've done synthwave. There we go. Anyway, also get rid of the presidency. I'm gonna stop talking about politics now. I'm gonna stop talking about that now. Canada burned the White House once, they can do it again. Yeah, is that a service that they offer? Is that like a burning down the White House as a service? Who is Liz Cheney? She is a former Republican. I think she might be an independent now. She was a Republican who got ousted from the Republican Party because she stood up against Trump, I believe during his first impeachment stuff, during his first presidency. But essentially, she's a member of the Cheney family. And what happened was Democrats, with their busted brains, think that modern Americans give a shit about political dynasty. And they're not wrong, but that group is purely the ultra-religious right. They want like a Trump dynasty. No one gives a shit about political dynasty. But they were like, oh, Liz Cheney. People know the Cheneys. The Cheneys are a storied American political family, such as Dickathy Cheney. Dick Cheney, the VP under George Bush. Surely Americans love the Cheneys. So they took this woman who was an anti-Trump Republican, and they were hoping to parade her around to get anti-Trump Republicans to vote for Kamala. What they didn't think about was the fact that no one likes Liz Cheney. No one likes the Cheneys. No one cares about the Cheneys. And like Republicans who don't like Trump aren't going to vote for a black woman on average. And that's what we saw. Like, they're still trying to peel off Republicans, but the Republicans are just disaffected. The Republicans who are not for Trump aren't the ones who are being hurt by this presidency. They're in like a little bubble right now. Thinking of Meghan McCain. I mean, she's still related to Dick Cheney. It's still the same. It's the same Cheney, not Meghan McCain, but love the Cheneys like a shotgun to the face. Yeah, for those who were not cognizant during this wonderful time that was the fucking Bush presidency, Dick Cheney shot a guy in the head with a shotgun while he was the vice president of the United States of America. I'm gonna pull this up. Dick Cheney shotgun. God, Dick Cheney's fucking face every time. The guy is awful. The guy is a war criminal. He also has a very funny face. This is his face. It's a it's a very good face. I can't even. Yeah, anyway, face of a war criminal. At least it's a funny face. On February 11th, 2006, then U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney shot Harry Whittington, a then 78-year-old Texas attorney with a 28 gauge shotgun while participating in a quail hunt in Riviera, Texas. Both Cheney and Whittington called the event an accident. The shooting was widely reported to take place on Saturday, February 11th, 2006, based on public statements. Accidents do and will happen, and that's what happened. Somebody had to talk to some ranch hand. Wait, what? The time of the shooting was not stated by Cheney. Cheney wasn't like, oh, let me give you the details here. Ooh. Armstrong, the ranch owner, claimed that all in the hunting party were wearing blaze orange safety gear and none had been drinking, and that at lunch they drank beer, which is contradictory to her later statement that there may have been a beer or two in the coolers, but not everybody in the party was shooting. Cheney has acknowledged that he had one beer 4 or 5 hours prior to the shooting. Uh-huh. Sure thing, dog. So yeah, the vice president of the United States of America shot a 78-year-old dude in the head with a shotgun. That was the Bush president. Like, the Trump presidency is fucked, right? It's just like overtly being evil towards certain groups. The Bush presidency, also war criminals, also did egregious things, especially in Iraq and Afghanistan. Completely different kind of clown show. Absolutely different kind of clown show. And I remember thinking, like, wow, it's never going to get worse than this. But it very much did. The Bush presidency was pretty standard issue, awful U.S. foreign policy, and then a bunch of morons that at least were like moronic statesmen and embezzlers. Like, they were still doing white collar crime. That's what elected politicians do. But they were like, I would still refer to George W. Bush as, like, arguably a statesman. That doesn't mean I like him. I don't think that statesman is a positive or negative trait, really. But, like, in terms of governance, in terms of, like, what they were doing, when they were in the White House, they at least were like, we are America and we're going to like be that and like somewhat adhere to that and like sort of at least try to uphold some of the concepts that we've told you we care about. That is not happening anymore. That is not even kind of happening. Now it's just, fuck you, we're not America, we're Trumpland. Bush v. Gore. Yeah, I mean, that was like the start of the end, really. A friend of mine in college said that history would look kinder to Bush than his critics were at the time. I thought he was off his rocker. However, by comparison, he might have been right. Bush is still a war criminal, horrific person who killed millions of innocent people and should be held liable for crimes against humanity. George Bush is really, really bad. Trump is somehow worse. Don't know how. Did we ever find those WMDs? We did. It was documented in Arrested Development. Y'all remember that plot line in Arrested Development? Oh my god, what a fucking good show. I wish it didn't go off the rails. Like, it got kind of weird when they started doing like the season 5 and whatever. But the first season, the first 3 seasons really, but the first season especially of Arrested Development is some of the most like tightly woven comedic writing in television history. The pilot episode of season 1 of Arrested Development is like has one of the highest like jokes per minute of any fucking show I've ever seen. It's, oh my god. But there's a plot, there's a gag where a dude accidentally took a picture of his balls at one point, and though that picture was like a grainy picture that eventually somehow made its way to the army and then up through intelligence channels and then was put on a projector in like the Situation Room in the White House, thinking that it was evidence of WMDs in Iraq. So this guy's accidental picture of his nuts ultimately became evidence of WMDs in Iraq. So that's the kind of show that Arrested Development is. It's really fucking funny. It's so good. It's just like they do so much like layering of jokes and setting up jokes that get paid off, you know, immediately, and then again in like a few scenes, and then again in a few episodes. And the reason that the show didn't do well was because like it came out at a time where it was a streaming type show that came out before streaming was really a thing. It's the kind of show that should be watched back to back to back to back. And when it came out, that was just not the case. And so it kind of like had a hard time. But yeah, the best line ever. Those are balls. Yeah, someone takes a look at the picture and they're like, no, those are balls. That's not a desert. Those are balls. I know balls when I see them. Oh my god. Or the classic, you know, trying to read a map to sail away from the Coast Guard, and they're like, okay, obviously this blue part is the land. Henry Winkler saying those are balls was so funny on that. Henry Winkler, that was hard to say, is, I love that he just became the guy who plays characters that are funny because it's him playing them. Like, he was Fonzie, and then he was the lawyer from Arrested Development, and the dad of John Ralphio in Parks and Rec. And like, all of these characters are just fucking weird and silly, and just the fact that it's him makes it funnier. Thoughts on BoJack Horseman? I haven't actually seen it. I know it's supposed to be like a pretty good show representing like mental health stuff, but I've never actually seen it. I'm currently rewatching Arcane, which is painfully good. Arcane is distressingly good. Except for I just watched the one episode that was like, there's one episode in season 1 where at the end of the episode, it turns into an Imagine Dragons music video, and no one asked for this, no one requested this. When I was watching the show, I didn't, you know, that wasn't the thing that I put in my wish list. But it happens anyway, and you kind of just have to deal with it. The rest of the show is 10 out of 10, fucking peak animation, excellent shit. That scene, we're just gonna look away on that one. But goddamn, it's so pretty. Like, watching that show ruins animation from other shows for me, because it's just, you can see so many goddamn details that did not need to be there, that are like, if you just watch the show for the sake of paying attention to the animation, you'll see so many fucking things that are beyond, like they just did not need to do that, but they did, and it makes it so much better for it. Season 2 is unfortunately not the best writing. I know that people don't like, there are people who don't like season 2. I don't find the season 2 writing to be bad. It's fine to me. I don't really, a lot of people have beef with Vi joining the Enforcers, but the beef kind of stops there, it seems, because she joins the Enforcers for like a third of an episode, and like, I don't know, and then she's like, that was stupid, I shouldn't have done that, and this was a mistake. Like, she does a thing, she's visibly regretful for having done it, She's visibly uncomfortable doing it, and then pretty much immediately decides it was the wrong idea and learns that she needs to go do something her own way, causing a rift. Like, it's a plot device to create the next setup, but I don't know. Here's the thing. I know nothing about League of Legends, and so like there's an interesting thing about like when watching this show, I can guess when there are certain characters on screen that must be a character in League of Legends because they like make a big deal out of revealing them or something, but I don't know what the characters are. I've never played League of Legends and I don't care. I don't like League of Legends. I was a Dota 2 player. I was reluctant to watch Arcane, and then I watched it and I was reluctant to admit that it's one of the best shows I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's so goddamn good. It was like fun. I think they character assassinate Kate, honestly. That I agree with. They definitely destroy Kate's character. They don't destroy. She goes a little weird. She gets a little weird with it. But the fact that they then have that payoff with what's her bitch getting fucking murked, you know what I'm talking about if you've seen the show. That fucking bitch, and she's like, I appreciated your warmth right before like the coolest moment in the entire show happens. Yeah, that's worth it. The entirety of season 2 is worth it for that one scene. Dota player spotted. It's bad. It's real bad. I still have pretty much daily, I get people trying to scam me through Steam because of two reasons. One, I am on the friends list of a very famous Dota personality. And two, I have an extremely rare Dota 2 item skin on my account that I'm constantly trying to get scammed for. It's worth like, I think several $1,000s, maybe at least a few hundred. At its peak, it was several thousand. I can't imagine it's still worth that much now. But yeah, I am constantly getting the number of friend requests from profiles that have no mutual friends with me, whose avatars are cute Asian girls. Off the charts, like 3 a day. I was a Paragon player until it shut down. Never gotten in another MOBA. That's intense. That is intense. Got to see season 2. Yeah, no, season 2 is really good. Season 2 is good because there's a lot more Victor, and Victor does more victory things. My experience with Dota / League is being mad at my screen for hours and then wondering what I was doing all day. You're very correct. You're very, very, very correct. Owncast dropped. Oh, did it die? Oh no. Wait. System health. So I'm looking at system health here. It does say yes. The system health is yes. Right here. So I don't see what your problem is. It says yes. It sounds like it's a you thing. But you had a question. What was your question? I lost the question. What elo / Glicko did you reach? I stopped playing Dota 2 before they changed the ranking system. So I stopped playing Dota 2 around 2018, I think. I had played Dota since like Dota 1, like 2003-ish, 2004-ish. I had played Dota 1 and then Dota 2 since beta, and basically every day from then until like 2018. And I was like, I need to have something else in my life, I think. And I need to not be doing this anymore. So I haven't played in quite some time. I don't remember what my elo was. It was somewhere in the 4,000s before they changed it to, I think they do like a ranking system now. But yeah. Will you ever play Stardew on stream again? I mean, probably. I can do that today if you want. Didn't really have a plan. I'm just kind of like, that's just sort of like the, if I don't have things to talk about, I'll play some Stardew Valley. Unfortunately, I have things to say. Echo's stopwatch scene was amazing. Yeah, like the main criticism that I've seen for season 2 of Arcane is that they did all of the artsy stuff really, really good at the expense of the substance to some degree. And I would agree with that assessment. I would agree with that. We still have MMR in Dota, sub 2K. We just have fancy ranges now. And there's new math. That I didn't know. I thought they fully jettisoned Elo and replaced it with like a ranked medals system where it's like, you know, silver, gold, platinum, etc. Unclear. Have we beat Palia? We have not. I have not played Palia since the like animal husbandry stuff came out. I'm so far behind on games, and I'm hoping to start changing that now that I've got a little bit more time in my schedule. But unfortunately, me and video games, I've either got intense brain rot for a specific game, and it's the only thing I can think about and the only thing I want to do all the time, or I am not playing video games at all. Which is weird because I love video games. But right now my brain rot is I guess Hades 2. I just beat Chronos last night. I've been playing Hades 2, and it's very, very, very good. I actually don't know if I like it more than Hades 1 yet. But I did beat Chronos last night. Fuck that guy. It's the blue shirt you wear sometimes. Is that a CodeForge, FOSS, GitHub, AWS alternative t-shirt? It is not. That is very specific. That is so very specific, but it is not. It is a... I'm not even going to bother trying to get that up in the screen. It's a piece of merch from a previous job. It's not worth explaining. It's a previous job merch thing. Oh, look who's looking. Look who's up. What are you doing, bud? Can't wait to hear your thoughts on the ending of Hades 2. Yeah, I haven't seen the ending of it yet. I've seen the, you know, I beat the boss for the first time, and like that's not how Hades ends. Like Hades 1 didn't end when you beat Hades. That's the beginning of Hades 1. Is the first time you beat Hades kind of like opens up the rest of the game. Hades 2 definitely is doing more of that, where it's like there is a lot of game, and I'm certain that I'm nowhere near the end. So far, like there's a lot of really cool shit going on in Hades 2. So far, honestly, I enjoyed the moment-to-moment combat of Hades 1 more. But I see what they were trying to do with Hades 2. They were trying to make it so that they acknowledged that their player base is aging, and they didn't want to give us all carpal tunnel. So they made it a lot less button mashy. Still very button mashy, but not as much as the first game. Thought I had seen that logo somewhere. It is a logo that is a play on the normal name of the annual like all hands summit for that company, which is called, the company is Stripe. They have an annual like all hands summit called Convergence, but during like the height of COVID, we didn't do that. So we had non-vergence, and so it says non-vergence. Like I said, not worth explaining. It's not interesting. It's just a comfy jacket is all, or a comfy hoodie. And I like the color. I wish I could get more of these. This is another hoodie that I can't tell people where to find it because I don't know what the manufacturer is. There's no like identifying information on the tags or anything. I'm gonna pet the dogs. I'm gonna pet the dog. Swag is either super cozy material or coated in sensory hell, no middle ground. That's very accurate. It's either the most comfortable thing you've ever worn or not. How do you come up with the intro of Stuff Still Happens? It's always funny to me. I literally come up with it right before I record, usually. If not, if sometimes I'll think of it in the shower, but usually it's like I like pick up my microphone and I think of something like, yeah. So typically it's just like I come up with something, I try to think of something that's like relatively relevant to something that I'm like thinking about. Half the time it's just whatever random bullshit, but I had a list at one point, but it's funny, like I would get ideas for openers and I would add them to the list, and then I would never do them. They would just go into the list. They would go into the list and never get used. So I stopped bothering. My name is Biscuit Stove Zucchini. Oh. My joke about Kronos was gold. How dare nobody laugh? My ego is bruised. Nitro Nick, ha ha ha! Did that help? Zucchini biscuits. I love zucchini bread and shit like that. Y'all, I had a lemon ginger biscuit yesterday. I got it from a bakery and then I ate it. And what was rad? What was really good? What was really good? Was that it had like actual chunks of ginger in it, which was delicious. But also, it very clearly was a flubbed biscuit, which is to say, they very clearly accidentally put two like biscuit rounds on top of each other. Like maybe there was like one biscuit that didn't have enough dough, so they just kind of like slapped another full biscuit's worth of dough on top. So when I took it home and I took it out of the bag, it was essentially, if you can imagine, like two biscuits kind of fused together like this, like one just sort of like laying on top of the other like this. It was the best day of my life because it meant that my one biscuit was two biscuits. Thanks for coming to my biscuit stream. Where Your humorous yelling reminded me of actor Alan Tudyk. Resident Alien Firefly, love that guy. Is that how you pronounce his last name? Tudyk? 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 I've never actually said it out loud, but I know who you're talking about. Mega Biscuit. I guess I could play some Stardew Valley. I think I'm reaching the end of my brain's ability to continue bullshitting, which is to say, I think I'm tired of thinking about the topics I wanted to talk about, and instead I should just play some Stardew Valley while still talking about whatever. How does that sound? Does that sound like fun times? Do we like that? Steam, just a little bit, just a few days. We'll check in on the farm. We'll see how things are going. We'll say hi to some people. Just a couple of days. Am I too late for biscuits? Unfortunately, yes, because the biscuits were yesterday. Like they were whole ass yesterday. I have a veggie chicken and potato salad. Veggie chicken and potato salad. Veggie chicken and potato. Like, veggie chick. What? Is it a potato salad? Or is it a salad with chicken? You can put potatoes in a salad. Yeah, you can put potato wedges in a salad. That's allowed. You can do that. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was weird at first. I was like, I don't get it. How does that work? And then I remembered. Food can be prepared. Hey chat, when it comes to potato salad, are we a mustard or mayo based potato salad kind of chat. I know what I am, but what's your favorite Stardew Valley farm type? I think probably the Four Corners, because it gives me like a way to section things off visually, and my brain likes that. All right, launch the game. Launch the nope. That's the game. Play. Just gonna go ahead and hit pause there. Mustard potato salad, did I hear that right? Like sweet or spicy? Yeah, like a mustardy potato salad. Like do you want it to have more mustardy going through it, or do you want it to be more like mayo-y? Vinegary too is an option. Yeah. I'm saying mayo, mustard and mayo. Mustard. The barbecue place near me makes a potato salad that's like extremely mustardy, to the point that they actually warn you. Like, they had enough people being like, this is so mustardy. They're like, yeah, my fucking guy, that's just like how we make it. So the menu actually says like very mustardy. Load. And I hydrated. Thank you, Sam the fish. Okay, what am I doing? Game. Oh, it's loading. Oh, it's loading. Okay. No, don't go to bed. I almost did the first day. Kewpie mayo for the win? Yes. Oh my god, Kewpie mayo for the win. Like, okay, if you're a person who, if you remotely like mayo, just start using specifically Kewpie mayo for everything, and your life will get better. It's just mayo, but they made it better. That's all it is. And it's more squeezable. Do Americans add spring onions to potato salads? Yeah, we do. And if you're white, the things that can go into a potato salad, the list is pretty long, I will say. Kind of like every region of the states have like their own, like, what is and is not allowed in a potato salad, and I believe it would cause contention to try to assert one way or the other. My fucking fence is still falling apart. I need to get better fence. I need to get materials. I need to get my shit upgraded. I need to upgrade my... all of them? Okay. Steel pickaxe. You can put mayo bins in the barn? Yeah, you can put anything anywhere. I always put, like, chests in the place to have the, various tools and items and such. Oh, no. Cow's like, no. Don't touch that udder. Hands off that udder. I guess they haven't produced more milk. Fences deteriorate over time. That's the problem, though, is you need to replace them no matter what, but better quality ones last longer. But that's the problem, is I don't wanna. I got peppers. Got me some peppies. I grew up in a church that did a lot of potlucks, and there were random fruits added to things like potato salads. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You never know when you're gonna, like, just be minding your own business and some white person put fruit in a potato salad. It happens. It happens, and it's dangerous. Materials. Because you're minding your own business, chomping away as if it's, you know, gonna be a consistent mouthfeel, and then suddenly something pops, and boy howdy, there's a grape in my potato salad. What happened here? How did this happen? Why did we get here? Surprise raisins are a constant potluck danger. Surprise raisins, they just come out of nowhere. But here's the thing, I like raisins. I mean, like, look at my skin. I like raisins, but like not in things. You give me one of those like boxes of raisins that's just like a tiny little cardboard box that hasn't been updated in like 70 years, and it's got raisins in it. You give me that shit, I'm gonna be happy. But don't put raisins in things against my will. Have you been fed fruit non-consensually? You may be entitled to compensation. Still storing all of this. I'll sell the corn, though. Wait, do I need to donate the corn? No, I'm going to sell the corn. Selling the corn. Go away. Okay. Okay. I think I should go do the mines. Because I've got a better pickaxe now. So I can go do that. Do I have food? I need skilling? Is that where I put food? You're kind of food. You're food. You're a bomb. Bomb is not food. But we'll make it work. Why can't I eat munitions? God, we could solve hunger in America if we could just eat bullets. I have so many good ideas and no one ever listens to me. Bring energy and food and whatever else. I don't need energy. I've got you. I've got you all. And you all are all I need. You bring me life. You're my life force. I'm kind of a lich, actually. I'm streaming to absorb your life forces. So thanks for that. Doing me a solid. That's how I keep this skin aglow. Ooh. The way down. Who did I realize recently was a literal lich? Oh, Peter Thiel, I think, is a lich. Like, basically most billionaires want to become liches. Like, they're just like, hey, okay, I've got a lot of money. How can I use that money to buy years of life? I'm just going to amass power and take life from other people. And it's like, oh, that's concerning. Like, that's probably a thing we shouldn't allow in our society, I guess. Maybe like getting billions of dollars and then using it to buy people's blood is a sign that there's something you should talk to a therapist about at least once. Like, billionaires will spend their entire life amassing fortune at the expense of their humanity instead of going to therapy. Therapy's not even that hard. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard because you have to be held accountable for shit, but like, I don't know. Deal with it. Peter Thiel, if not lich, that might be a lesser demon. I feel like lesser demons would at least be chill though. Like, lesser demons don't have anything to do. They're just like grunts. So they're mostly hanging out until they get some sort of like direction. Hey, ghost, die. Good lord. Fucking die. Okay, Jesus. Take the wheel. Or, take the pickaxe. Wasn't there a Netflix documentary about a rich guy who spends millions of dollars trying to make himself immortal? That might be Peter Thiel. Like, that's Peter Thiel's whole thing, is trying to, like, infuse himself. He does, like, blood infusions with the blood of the young. This is not a lie. I talked about this on stream a couple times ago. He literally infuses himself with the blood of the young to try to stay young. Like, to try to reverse aging. We're just trying to afford food out here. Like, we're just trying to buy groceries, is the thing. But we're at buying and injecting young people's blood levels of wealth disparity, and I think that's just really good for our country. I think that's really healthy and a good point in capitalism's corner in terms of being a good modern system that holds up to scrutiny. Brian Johnson. I'm not surprised that there's more. Not just the young. Doesn't he use his own son's blood? Ah, that makes sense. That tracks. That's like evil villain shit. Like, son, you exist to fuel me. Like, that's straight up, that's like the plot to multiple movies. Of like, son, I must now consume your life force because I am the evil person. And like, the point is that I'm showing the audience how evil I am because I'm so heartless I would sacrifice my own son for this twisted desire of mine. That's Peter Thiel. Witness me, blood bag. Yeah. And we don't even get the fun cars and cool pyrotechnics in our wasteland. We just get medical bills. All of the cancer and none of the pyrotechnics of Mad Max. Can I have a way down, please? I didn't want to have to go through this whole spiral, and I'm being chased by a ghosty. I'm being haunted, which tracks. I mean, it's October. Literally a comic book villain? Yeah. Hello, Dusty. What's up? These ghosts have way too much health. I don't like it. But at this point, I'm so far into the spiral, I might as well finish it out. I hate this level. Oh, I can get rid of these now. Hell yeah. Oh, can I get rid of the meteor now? Ooh, I might be able to get rid of the meteor now. We'll go check that when I get back tomorrow. Will you die? Thank you. Okay, good lord. It's like that fucking movie, It Follows or whatever, where it's just like, it just follows? Okay, give me a thing. I got a wooden mallet. I guess I should have been more specific about thing. But I'll take it. I don't mind that. Thunk. Ooh, I'm gonna go fishing. You can break the 2x2 rocks in the mines with a base pick. Only the ones on the farm are Ah, I remember that now. Yeah. Oh, I will say, so for those who have not yet watched my Minecraft Let's Play series over on my gaming channel on YouTube, it's called Minecraft Sisyphus Edition. There was episode 5 went up this past week, or this past Wednesday, and I was reviewing it and noticed that in that episode, I do this whole thing where I seek out sand because for whatever reason, I convinced myself that I need sand to plant sugarcane. And I don't know why I thought that. Like, I remember that I don't actually need to do that, but apparently I thought I needed to do that. I guess I was thinking of cacti or something. So I spend a bunch of time trying to find sand, and I'm like making a big deal out of having sand and using sand for my sugar farm, only to be told relentlessly in the comments that made no goddamn sense. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I do not know why I did that. But yeah, you should definitely go check that out. The latest episode is up. It is a pretty chill, very silly series in which I try to beat Minecraft on hardcore mode despite not really knowing how to do that. So that's up on Endeavorance Games. It's actually season 3, and so there's a couple or a bunch of content to go back and watch if you would like to do that. But you can jump in at any time. It's not like a serial thing that you have to like catch up on. So if you are interested, I highly recommend checking that out. And I would really appreciate subscribing over on the gaming channel, helping getting that going, helping getting that boosted up and whatnot. So that's my spiel about that. Ah! Eat the bug steak. Okay, where's the way down? Like where? I love cereal. Says weed marijuana grower. I'm really happy for you. Cereal's good. I would say that it should be a part of this balanced breakfast. Like, you don't want to have just cereal. You got to balance it out a little bit. So, which is to say, you can only ever eat cereal on a seesaw. But if you're okay with that, great. Favorite cereal? I'm gonna be so fucking basic. I'm gonna be so basic and say Honey Bunches of Oats. I'm gonna say Honey Bunches of Oats. Oh, that or Frosted Mini Wheats. Purely, but it has to be the frosted kind because I want the, like, Frosted Mini Wheats are like a sort of like a discovery adventure. You're like spelunking. You're looking for the most frosted of the wheat that has been miniaturized. And so like you get every once in a while a like truly over frosted mini wheat, and that is what makes the cereal good. The fact that it's just otherwise shredded wheat is Anyway, I got iron. That's good. That's good. Fruit in the most basic bran flakes with coconut milk slaps. I need to. It's funny. I'm definitely getting old and am now able to eat cereals that probably don't taste good, but I'm like, this tastes great. Like, this is so sweet. But like a child would probably vomit at the taste of it. But I also just like I can't have soda at this point. Like sugar just does not. I can't have too much sugar. And it's like it's not a problem. I just like don't care anymore about sugar. Okay, got more stuff. Let's get everything put away. Really walked by that fruit. Do you understand that I am mostly not looking at the game? Is there like a fruit, like a forageable on the ground? I don't know where I left it. Must have been way back. It's getting late, it says. Where's their fruit? Was there fruit? I give up. I'm just gonna head back. Yeah, please understand that I am like hardly looking at the game. I am largely like glancing back and forth between chat and the game, sort of on autopilot over here. I'm a honey bunches of oats enjoyer, but Lucky Charms and Cinnamon Toast Crunch are my sweet treat guilty pleasure cereals. I will say Reese's Puffs, in terms of sweet treat guilty pleasure, Reese's Puffs, pretty fucking good. Don't mind that. Put this away. Put that away. Okay. Monster parts. Put that away, that away. Oh, I'm about to fucking pass out. Ooh. Ooh. And corn pops? I don't really know much about... I don't have... do I need to donate that? I don't. I don't have much knowledge of the corn poppery of the world. Not something that I have spent a lot of time consuming. The only thing I know about corn pops is that we do indeed gotta have them. I'm so glad that I've got 3 cook chairs. All right, one more. I can make kegs! Finally! Okay, good. Ooh, miner or geologist? I'm gonna go miner. I think I'm gonna go miner. What do you get at the... If I go miner, what do I get later on? Stardew Valley, miner upgrades, or whatever. Mining... Skill? Ah, okay, found it. Farming, mining, okay. Level 5, if I do miner, I will then be able to do blacksmith and prospector versus... Oh, yeah, I'm doing miner. Oh, totally. Totally. Your farm is mid? Oh, yeah, very much so. I have not really been trying to do anything here. I've largely just been kind of like playing it to have a thing to do to smooth brain while otherwise yapping. But I would say my farm is currently mid. I think the potential is fairly high, which is good. What is an encore? Like a come back to see people thing? Like, you know, coming back out on stage? What about encores? That's the beauty of these games, no pressure. I definitely know people who do not play this game because they find it too stressful. I know at least 2 people who have said that like they wish they could play Stardew Valley, but they can't because they see it as like an optimization problem, and that's stressful. Like they have to basically perfectly optimize every single day. And if they don't, they have to like start over. And I'm like, I'm glad that I don't have that brand of neurodivergence because my goodness, I would not want to live that way. Summer Squish. But I'm also not one to be like a huge optimizer to begin with. I prefer playing games with like silly builds that are fun rather than doing the best thing. I'm not interested in like optimizing the game or solving the game or doing the most meta build or whatever. I'm usually more interested in finding fun ways to beat the game in like more unexpected routes or like with silly additional requirements or something. Kix was a treat cereal as a kid and I loved it. I didn't get much in the way of sugary cereals as a child. Oh, can I get this now? Nope. I'm just fucked. Oh god, we've got a jailbreak. We've got a bogey. We've got a straight up free roaming chicken. My goodness. A lot of time management, min-maxing. Yeah, it's not how I play this game. Like, if I'm playing a try-hard version of Stardew, like if I'm doing a try-hard run, which I don't think I'm ever going to do again in my entire adult life, the thing that I'm trying to do is like make sure that I've got my year one donation stuff settled. I don't tend to do a whole lot beyond that. Do I need to donate this? I do. Who wants that? Where does this go? It goes in the summer crops bundle, which I probably could have figured out. Need a gold pick to break the meteor? It's bullshit, because gold's too soft. That's not how that works. I do like that the top level thing in this game is iridium, though. That's always fun. Kicks is banger. I know tricks. I mean, I think I know kicks. Okay, we're gonna finish up this day, and then I'm probably gonna go ahead and get me some lunch. Over here. That's where we're going. Pantry. Summer crops. Take squish. Oh well. The gold mechanic drives me crazy in so many games. It really should be like RuneScape did it right. RuneScape did good. With like tin, copper, iron, steel. They skip gold. It goes into mithril, adamant, runite, and then dragon, and then now there's a million different other things. Like that's good. I like that. That makes sense, because those get progressively harder. Don't throw gold in the middle. At least like Minecraft realized their bullshit and like made it so that gold is like super weak now, but like not now. That was a long time ago they did that. But like, you know, at least that's a trade-off, given that they weren't gonna like just get rid of gold entirely. Can I get milk from them udders now? Can I just get a squeeze of them udders? Let's see. Zombie. What's up, Zombie? How you doing? Thanks for the milk, Zombie. Okay, and then... Oh. Alright. Alright. Did some good milking. Milking on stream, that's always good. Moo cows. Cornballer. Oh yeah, the cornballer. I need a cheese stuff. I need cheese things, but I don't have hardwood. I want a cask. I think I have an oak resin. Let's go see if I've got more to collect. I don't know if I have oak resin any. Oh, hey! Oak resin. Beautiful. Look at all this oak resin. Holy shit. It's like the gods knew that I was gonna need oak resin. And they provided. Damn. Okay, so now it's just what? Copper, iron, and wood. Things that I have. Milked on stream. Hell yeah. Terms of service. What am I doing? Materials. Okay. Wood. Iron. Oh, do I not have copper? I have stuff to make copper. Get that cooking. Get that cooking real good. Milking trees now? You gotta milk the trees. Gotta milk the trees, gotta get their resin so that you can make necklaces. Knee therapy. Bring Georgia hot pepper. I've got hot peppers. Okay. Now we make a cask. Or 3. So I can finally start working on my hops. Where are the casks gonna go? We're gonna put the casks here. Next to the hops. No! There we go. Okay. I'm gonna go grab hops. Stardew Valley pickup sound is the same as the signal notification sound, and I've been going nuts for the last 30 seconds. Good. Good. Deal with it. Hops. I need a hop box. And like I'm turning this into wine. Oh, hey! It's the stuff that I need to donate. Perfect. And the hot peppers that I need. I need a new box to store stuff that's going to get put into casks. So that will go here. Beer. Make beer. Okay. Donate and deliver. Any idea how to open a stuck jar? Run the lid of the jar under some warm water. If that doesn't work, you can also like tap it on the counter, the lid on the counter a little bit. And then if that doesn't work, you can Hulk the fuck out and just brute force that motherfucker. Government shutdowns means I got notice that my food stamps will be delayed next month. Yay, hunger, America. Yeah, for those who, if there's anybody in your life that you're aware of that is using food assistive benefits right now, they are currently not sure how they're going to eat next month. So if there's somebody in your life that you know is food insecure currently, please consider reaching out. It's rough right now for them, especially military families or like federal workers who are furloughed and everything else. Definitely look up your local food bank. And again, I still recommend volunteering at food banks. It's like one of the easiest, most direct ways to like really make an impact that helps people. So really consider looking up like the local food bank network in your locality and see what their volunteering program is like. Usually they've got the option to just show up and like they've got everything that you need and they just need bodies. Like they just need people to put bags of food together. Like that's it. I'm gonna go fishing. They think that taking away food stamps will work as punishment. They are dumb. It's just gonna make people more mad. I think they're terrified of that. I don't think that they want to take away food stamps necessarily. I think that they've always wanted to take away food stamps from the perspective of like austerity, right? Like the conservatives have always wanted to remove social spending programs and social safety nets. Like that's a given. But they also know that those are deeply, deeply unpopular positions, which is why they do stuff like call the ACA Obamacare relentlessly to the point that people don't know that the ACA and Obamacare are the same thing. So they can say things like we want to get rid of Obamacare because people have been made to dislike Obamacare. And so like they're not interested in the flack for failing to feed their own citizens, which is how governments tend to fall apart. When your citizens are hungry, they tend to lop off your head. So I'm not sure they're, using it as a tactic, but it is definitely the big deadline that is making things significantly spookier politically for both parties. Like, they're going to have to deal with the fallout of it because it's one of the few ways that American citizens actually feel direct political impact on their life. Most U.S. citizens do not feel the impact of politics on their life, or don't realize it, or don't think that it affects them. And it's not until it very, very much obviously does, which is to say, I'm hungry and it didn't have to be this way, that people tend to actually do something or actually acknowledge that there's a problem. But like the vast majority of people in America are like just tuned out, and until it personally affects them, it doesn't matter. And that's tragic, but it's also the reality of the situation, and that doesn't get fixed by like getting mad at those people because that's why they're disaffected, because their understanding of politics is purely people yelling at each other. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it sucks that the way you fix it is by on loop forever being the one that reaches out and does the work to help people, even though they are the ones that should be helping themselves, and them not helping themselves is making things worse for everybody. Sucking it up and being the one that takes on that responsibility is how it gets fixed. That doesn't mean that it's everyone's job to do that all the time, but unfortunately, inertia is a thing. Objects at rest tend to stay at rest, and that goes triply for the average American and their couch. They won't help themselves, yet we have to pay for them. Yeah, I mean, the problem is it's the not helping themselves here is they're not helping they're not helping themselves to the thing that is available to them politically. It's not like they're not taking advantage of certain programs or whatever. It's they're not interested in learning what they don't know because they've written it off. So it's like, it's a desire to stay outside of everything because it's emotionally less taxing to remain blissfully ignorant, essentially. Coral! Sweet pea. Some fish. I didn't donate the rest of my crap. Oh, well. We're going to call that good. I'm going to close it down. I'm going to get going to get some lunch because I'm a hungry boy. I got a handful of things to do. But thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. On this here Friday. We're going to have a new episode of Stuff Keeps Happening on Monday. There will be more streams. Every Wednesday and Friday is when I stream. Every Wednesday and Friday at 11 a.m. U.S. Eastern is when I stream. I would love to see y'all there. Continuing to work on the stream setup, continuing to hopefully roll out some more stuff soon. I'm having a good time playing around with it, but anything I want to plug, definitely check out Minecraft Sisyphus Edition if you haven't yet. Check out my gaming channel on YouTube, which is youtube.com/Endeavorancegames. Let me post that real quick. youtube.com/@EndeavoranceGames. Bonk. Definitely check that out. And then I'm going to pet the dog. So very good. Rating anyone? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I will figure out a better way to manage that in the future. But for right now, I'm gonna actually just go ahead and close the stream down. Here. I'll raid a random person. Who's a random person? Why doesn't it show me like Oh. Okay. Cool. We'll raid okay-ish. That works. Sorry, I couldn't figure out how the fuck to make this work. So start raid over on Twitch, and then for YouTube people, goodbye. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. Take care. Be well. I will see you on Monday and then Wednesday. This is a great ending to the old stream today. Anyway, bye.
You think the UK has better food than the